V for Vendetta. Buy the 2-disc collector's edition on Tuesday.
The only verdict is vengeance.
Go deeper into the most revolutionary film of the year with breathtaking special features.
I'm ready.
People should not be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid of their people.
It's time.
From the creators of the Matrix trilogy comes an uncompromising vision of the future. V for Vendetta. Buy it Tuesday on DVD.
Day one, San Diego ComiCon, 10 p.m. Some of the best things that I heard from the day were at the Master Replicas booth, which is this company that makes replicated weapons. A dude was talking to another dude about a lightsaber, a particular lightsaber that he had from the Star Wars films. And he had the Luke Skywalker lightsaber, and he said, "Mine is even autographed by Mark Hamill." And that was just sort of a fucking run-by that we heard that. And I had to stop Cesar and laugh with him. Back from the preview night, we waited in lines to get into the ComiCon, which is something that we don't really do very often because we're press. It's pretty awful. There were lots of very excited people. We're standing here at the San Diego ComiCon at the, quite literally the line, in a line where people have been confused and believe that the line goes in two different directions. We are here, One Up News, at the apex of that split. It's really where the rubber meets the road here, and this is just like probably like the 4th or 5th smallest line. I mean, we're in a very fucking small line compared to some lines upstairs with some really into comics people, and it's hot. The air conditioning is not working very well. I'm sweating profusely, and I wish we were inside. I don't like to wait in lines ever. That's why I became press. These lines are bullshit.
Castle Crashers is an old school arcade 4-player hack and slash adventure. It's got elements of Golden Axe and Final Fight mixed with elements of Zelda and Guardian Heroes and Dynasty Warriors and anything.
River City Ransom.
River City Ransom, a big one. You know, a lot of our old favorites, a lot of new elements, a lot of on-screen effects, tons of magic and smoke and explosions, and item collecting and animal friends and horses.
We saw the
game last year in a much more limited form. What's changed since then?
Well, we redid all the art, and with that came, redoing of the engine and things like that. After we got everybody's feedback, we kind of changed essentially everything. I don't think it plays much like the old version at all, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
The other cool thing is we're mixing action with RPG, so you can now level up and gain abilities. You gain magical abilities, you can apply different attribute points to your character in different areas and things like that.
Okay, so then what's the story of the new game about?
People take your stuff, your girls and your idol, and you go out and basically crash all their castles looking for it.
The main mechanic is you have your jab and your fierce slash, but you can make combos by going jab, jab, slash, and different variations of that. You also have a lot of air juggling, where once you have an enemy in the air, you can pretty much keep them up there for as long as you're able to keep juggling them around. Yeah. Then you have your magic, which has variations of projectiles, close range, super jumps, and magic slashes, and you can mix that into your combos, where you can, super jump and slash an enemy into the air, then switch into a combo, and then on his way down, you can shoot a fireball down at him, set him on fire. So pretty much you can just punish enemies, and once they're dead, you'll still knock them around. You can knock off their head and still juggle their body around afterwards. Yeah. We want it to be lots of chaos and fun.
Everybody on the team has their own specific style of play. We all like to do different things to the guys. Tom usually has them way up in the air, and I'm slamming them on the ground and things like that.
Tell us about the Alien Hominid 360 version.
Right now it's widescreen, so you get a more playable area. It's better resolution, so the graphics are looking better than ever. As far as announcing any additional levels or features, right now that's unknown. Yeah. So we'll see where that goes.
But how far off are these games? Is one 6 months away and one 2 years away, or?
Right now we're hoping for holiday release for Alien Hominid and first quarter 2007 for Castle Crashers. Nothing's set in stone right now though.
Not like 2008 or
Right, nothing official, but we're not going to take our sweet time on it.
It's really cartoony, but immediately reminded me, just watching it, of the Ninja Turtles arcade game.
They showed it last year on GameCube, and everyone was thinking, okay, this will be a $50 game. So this year, $10 at the arcade. That's pretty cool.
Extremely cool.
Yes, so they shopped it around for a little while, and then they basically looked at the live arcade angle, and they're like, hey, we can do this without a publisher. It'll be way easier. Potentially more profitable because they get a big cut out of each set.
Ziv Davis doesn't know it yet, but they bought me the Halo graphic novel today. No luck yet on the Halo 2 action toy. You can see it in my blog. I will have one. I need one. I need 2, or 3 actually. One for me, one for Mark McDonald, and one for me to open and play with.
That wasn't for us.
I thought that we were about to be ejected from the Arco AM PM. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna try and acquire a Master Chief helmet to bring back with me to Ziff. I think it's one of those things that's missing from the offices would be me in Mjolnir armor.
So when's the last time you played Endor Tomorrow or Chaos Theory?
I think the last time was with you, when you and I went on and played a couple of strangers, and we actually won Chaos Theory.
Oh yeah,
and that was
months ago though.
Yeah, that was the last time I played.
Oh wow, it's been a while. I'm curious to see how this turns out.
Your mission is divided into 3 phases. Your mission is to prevent the intruder stealing 2 of the 5. The yellow terminal is being attacked. The yellow terminal is being attacked. yellow terminal is being attacked.
So I hadn't been following multiplayer as closely. Like, I didn't play Chaos Theory as much as you did multiplayer. So I knew that they were making changes, but like now having played it, I'm kind of surprised. Like they're definitely forcing you to the way it was always supposed to be, where the spies are defensive and the mercs are offensive. It's really like pushing you towards that now.
Yeah, it used to be like the original design was we had these heavily powered mercenaries against these stealthy spies who are underpowered, but people just kind of figured out like they got really good.
People get so good at spies that like as a mercenary against a good player, like I didn't stand a chance. Like they'd be coming straight at me and I would be afraid, and that was the opposite of what it was supposed to be. You know, they would what you did some of it. They would stun you, shoot a smoke grenade at your feet.
I learned this from some of my friends. Like, you stun him with a shotgun, and he could just do like a rapid fire. It's like you're playing Tony Hawk or Street Fighter or something like that. It's like boom, 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 and then you hit a smoke grenade, flashbang, and then a chaff grenade, all like within a second. And the mercenaries just like I don't know what's going on.
You're behind them and strangling them in a second.
So basically, the spies in the old games like Pandora Tomorrow and Chaos Theory, spies would just learn to take you out right away. Then they have free reign in the levels.
Right. So now like you don't even have a gun as a spy. You don't have the stun gun anymore. Like you only have one gadget at a time. It's weird. It's totally different. I mean, I think they definitely did it because the old game, like, as much as I love them, I didn't play it as much because it was so deep that the people who played it a ton were so good that the gulf between like a beginner and the experts was just ridiculous. Like so much of the game was spy detectors and mines and placing them as mercs and spies, and now that's all gone. Like the first thing I was like, wait, so no mines? And they're like, yeah, no mines, which is such a huge thing.
Like the game's not finished. I'm like, oh wait, they're gonna put this in later. But it's weird. Like so the spies, they really took out a lot of their offensive powers. So they don't have the shotgun gun. They don't have multiple grenades.
It feels weird to stand up and just run through the levels as a spy, but I'm doing it now because it's like, oh, well, I don't have to worry about mines. I don't have to worry about tripwires. I can just like haul ass. If somebody sees me, I'm just gonna like try to run and escape and use more of your like acrobatic moves.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's weird, like, because as a mercenary, I miss setting up the traps. Like, all right, I'm gonna find a clever place to put the spy trap or a mine. But at the same time, I could appreciate like how much less frustrating this is as a spy. Because in the old game, even if you wanted to run, like you drop a smoke grenade as a spy, you take off, but then like you turn a corner and then you explode because they put a mine there. And it's for the mercenary, it's very rewarding. But as a spy, it's like, well, that guy didn't even really kill me. All he did was set a trap and I had to run this way no matter what. So it's like they kind of took out that kind of impersonal, like I don't know, for me, like it's. They wanted more face to face. Like if you're gonna kill the spy, you have to see him and actually put a bullet in his head or drop a grenade in on him instead of just like killing him like anonymously somewhere else on the level with a mine.
The green terminal is being attacked.
I thought it was also cool that when you get killed, like to your point, like sometimes you just die and it was from a mine. It was like, oh, where was it or whatever, you know, you didn't even know. Now, even when you get shot, it has that thing where it shows the line of the bullet and it shows where the person was who shot you and from what angle, and you can switch back and forth between you and him.
They want to make it easy for you to figure out, like, even if you're a spy, you're hacking, all of a sudden you get shot from behind and you don't understand why. So now you can see, like, oh, the mercenaries snuck up behind me. So they want you to learn from it, and next time, like, well, I gotta watch my back, or I gotta find another less obvious spot to hack the thing from. Yeah, there's a lot of little things in there that you can appreciate for newbies. Like on top of that, you have the mini map now in the corner,
right?
So you can always see what objective.
Yeah,
you see where your teammates are. You see where the objectives are being hacked. So you're not like wondering like what do I do? Like what's going on? Who's hacking what?
That helps a ton. Yeah. Instead of just the HUD thing flashing and you're like, it's through some walls. Like where is it? You know. The other cool thing I'm glad they added was so often like a spy would get away in the old games and you were just like, oh, all right, maybe you call out to your teammate. But now you have that little drone you can send after them. And it's really cool, like chasing after someone in the drone or seeing a drone going after someone, or as you're a spy, like kind of being hunted by one. Yeah, and then you can self-destruct it. And the controls on it are a little touchy, so it's not as easy as just like flying around in 3D space. It's like definitely a skill, like the bumpers, you go up or down. So that took some getting used to, especially in like the low little crawl spaces.
Yeah, because you have to keep hovering it to move it forward. But it is cool, because if they duck into a vent, and you can't follow them, now you can send a drone in after them, so it's not quite over yet.
So if you see the Merc while he's doing it, he's kind of like this, and he's looking at the stuff on his faceplant.
Oh,
so
really?
yeah. So the trade-off is if you see a Merc who's doing that, it's a good time to come up behind him and strangle him.
Yeah. But I think most like the hardcore fans, like all the guys I used to play with, I suspect they're not gonna like this at first, because I didn't like it. The first time I played it, I was like just bummed out because I'm like, oh man. Chaos Theory was so good, Pandora Tomorrow was so good, and I really missed having all the choice of gadgets because you had all these different gadgets to pick from, and it's a lot of strategy. Like you could set up a spy bullet here so you can see when the mercenaries are approaching.
Yeah, it got so like complicated and stuff like that. It's pretty much them saying like, we could continue to go and refine this really kick-ass multiplayer and have the small group of people that are really enjoying it, or we can kind of reset it. So it's interesting they're doing that. The 3-on-3 thing, I think, is a really good thing. Going with this strategy, if you're going to go this way, I'm glad they made it 3-on-3 now. Like, because it is more fast action and arcadey, and also it's less reliant. When it was 2-on-2, if one guy wasn't as good, like it totally threw off the entire game. Now with 3, it's just like a little bit easier to balance like any given match.
It's weird because I loved how deep the old games were, and it's so much more shallow now. But at the same time, there are a lot of positives to these fixes. So I need to play it a lot more and see how it goes. Because like the original games too, like Chaos Theory and Pandora Tomorrow, you didn't realize how hardcore it was until you started playing other people. As people got good, that's when all the problems started popping up.
All right, cool. So you want to head back in? I think we got one more
map.
map.
Some more time, so let's play some more.
All right, cool.
There is something terribly wrong with this country, isn't there? Cruelty and injustice, intolerance and oppression. And where once you had the freedom to object, to think and speak as you saw fit, you now have censors and systems of surveillance coercing your conformity and soliciting your submission. I know you were afraid. Who wouldn't be? War, terror, disease. Fear got the best of you, and in your panic you turned to the now High Chancellor Adam Sutler. He promised you order, he promised you peace, and all he demanded in return was your silent, obedient consent. But if you see what I see, if you feel as I feel, and if you would seek as I seek, then I ask you to stand beside me, and together we shall give them a 5th of November that shall never, ever be forgot.
We're out in front of the AM/PM again. A little product placement. Day 2, the San Diego ComiCon. We had 90 minutes this morning from the time the show started to get there to enter the drawing for the Halo 2 action toys. And we regrettably were unable to participate in the raffle due to me oversleeping. Any pressure intrinsically to continue to innovate with the franchise, and how do you plan to continue to innovate going forward?
キャスルバニアシリーズとしても20年もやってますので、ずっと同じものを作ってるともう飽きられてしまうっていうのがありますから、常に新しいものっていう風に模索してまして、でそれがシリーズのファンを大事にするのか、それとも別なことを取っていくのかっていうところでいつも考えるところはあるんですけれども、っていうゲームを作るということは商売ですから、とにかく今までと違うキャスルバニアということを考えながらやってますので、どちらかというとコアファンに対するプレッシャーよりも新しいものっていうそういう意欲でものを作ってるというような感じですよね。
There's 2 characters in the new Castlevania title. Is there any multiplayer functionality planned for the game?
今回はですね、本編中のゲームではちょっと用意してないんですけれども、Wi-Fi コネクションとあとワイヤレスの2つのモードで、協力モードを用意してます。
The first thing I want to talk about, guys, is the process of creating for print versus the process of creating online. I mean, a lot of it is parallel for creating for something like Halo 3 and creating the Halo graphic novel, because what are some similarities and differences between the two, though?
Well, I mean, I actually have a print background, so I was used to both disciplines, I suppose. But you're right, there's a lot of similarities. There's a lot of concepting, there's a lot of planning, and there's a lot of, early iterations and a lot of working with artists, which is much of what making a real video game is about, as well as obviously the Halo graphic novel.
The book is essentially official canon. This is really Bungie's baby, and there's a lot of stuff in there, like even in the first story, you find out that when the Flood takes over a creature, it also gains that creature's memories and thoughts, which is something we hadn't necessarily known previously. And there's lots of these little nuggets and treats inside the book. What else is inside there for fans to pore over?
We came up with the initial concepts for the stories and then handed off very vague and broad outlines to the writers to say, here's this concept, we'd like you to flesh it out. They'd write something, come back with versions of it, we'd edit and iterate on those and say, actually, that's not true, or maybe you could add this. The stuff that fans are probably going to be excited about is stuff that we probably take for granted. Like, we knew that's how the Flood biology operated, and, we forget that sometimes that stuff isn't definitely obvious or clear in the game, but it's in our canon and it's in our story Bible, so yeah, I mean, it's like, there's probably 1,000 things in the graphic novel are going to surprise or excite fans of the series.
In Halo 1, the Flood are just these zombies that just come en masse, and they seem like they're just fodder in Halo 2, when players sort of get exposed to this thing called the Grave Mine, they start to maybe realize that there's more to these guys than meets the eye. So the graphic novel is a great way for us to just expand on that and give people more insight into the Flood, because they're playing a greater role now in the sort of the Halo saga. So we wanted people to really understand that these are pretty serious, scary guys, and they're not just zombies. So
Halo, the way that I'm seeing how Bungie is presenting it, is the story of a universe. It's a fiction that's confined beyond just, Master Chief and Cortana's story. There's a lot more here, and the graphic novel is really sort of expanding on that.
If you look at the back of the box of Halo 1, you might get the idea that it's Master Chief versus the Covenant. And really, the Master Chief's struggle with the Covenant is what reveals this bigger, greater, darker, more ancient threat in the form of the Flood. So it's never really been as black and white as that. There's always been, a lot more depth to the kind of struggles that both the Covenant and the humans have to fight now. The Flood doesn't care whether you're human or Covenant. The Flood is going to consume and use your species. So certainly that's something that we left kind of a cliffhanger in Halo 2, and it's something obviously we're going to expand upon and elaborate on in Halo 3.
I am your shield. I am your sword. I know you, your past, your future.
I think the games do a really good job of telling the Master Chief story, and things like the novels, graphic novels, these ancillary products, definitely our goal is to just widen everything, because we introduce characters like Sergeant Johnson that people really love and they really gravitate to. So we'd have a whole Johnson story in here where people can learn a little bit more about Sergeant Johnson, and as an example, he's probably a character you're going to be hearing more about in probably future published works as well. That we like him a lot, and we want to leave Master Chief he's going to be the guy in the game, and these are great ways to sort of talk about the other characters and just open up new avenues for Halo.
Halo 3, you said in the documentary, is the conclusion it's the finishing of these fights. From that, I wonder if this is the end of a particular fictional arc.
It's not just a way, to separate the core game universe from the rest of the universe. If you look at the Mobius strip in the Halo graphic novel, it actually is designed to explain something from Halo 2 very clearly, which is New Mombasa is completely deserted, and it's this weird ghost town, and it's a very strange place when you're in the game. And we wanted to say, this is what it's like when it was populated, and there were real people lived here, and there were real casualties in this war. It didn't just magically evacuate and everyone was safe and happy. It's like we're going to have this huge collection of canon and things that we embrace as canon, like I Love Bees and stuff like that, and just say this was the universe. And that's not to say it's all going to come to a dead stop.
We've always looked at Halo 1, Halo 2, and Halo 3, the games, as one cohesive trilogy. Where it goes from there and where other tangents pop up, who knows? But obviously we got a lot of people that love our universe. We have really cool characters, a lot of great stories to tell, so we're looking forward to doing all we can.
We want all that stuff to be vital, expansive detail that helps it, illustrate our universe better.
I get a lot of questions on my blog about how One Up goes so hard all the time. This is the secret.
See this? See what this is? This is victory. Luke 1, ComiCon 0. This is what we came for. And the games. But this is what we're here for. My ODST exclusive toy. This isn't the only one I have. I have 3. 3 tickets, 3 winners. 100% batting average. We'll be going back tomorrow to try and get more. Greed has set in. I have to give 2 of my 3 toys away. And I need more. Leon, as soon as we get there, I'm like, dude, I have to go. We have to use these. We have to get these tickets. And he's like, okay, but as soon as we're done, we've got to go over to the darkness. He's always so serious. Go over and interview Starbreeze. Fucking all business, no pleasure. Dick.
What's the feedback you're getting from the ComiCon fans on the demo you're showing here?
It's actually pretty good feedback. It's fun to be here at ComiCon and see all the people that are interested in comic coming in, seeing the game, and getting really excited about it.
Are you looking for feedback on, say, like the license, and if the fans think it's true to the comic book?
Yeah, to biggest extent. We showed this same demo on E3 a couple of months ago, and it was computer press related, so we got some feedback from them, and it's a completely different story here with what people are interested in and what they want to see. So.
Give it up, Jackie boy. You ain't getting out of here alive, and you know it. Should've listened to your Uncle Paulie, Jackie. Now put him down, nice and slow.
It's a chance for us to go and meet the people that read the comic a lot, and it's a good place to talk about the game.
Any like particularly memorable comments you're getting from the crowd that you might take into like the feedback for the game?
No, but we had, for instance, a guy that came in and he told us he was the biggest Darkness fan, and he looked all sour throughout the whole show, and afterwards he went out and he gave us a nod, so a nod of approval. So.
I'm not one to judge, but that's a really bad Kevin Costner stunt double costume that guy's wearing. It's not the best Robin Hood I've ever seen. Not in the best shape? Yeah, and Maid Mariam's wearing some weird shit. That speaks for itself. We're here outside the Halo graphic novel panel, which just let out with Alan Duhamel, who, in a sea of superfans, asked by far the most difficult questions of the Halo, of the guys on the panel.
Who asked 343 Guilty Spark about who asked him first when they were activating Halo. In First Strike, and they find the crystal, and it takes that crystal and the power of 50 Covenant warships in order to shunt them into the alternate version of Slipspace. And I was wondering how the three shards, like this big, how they could have, with the power of one warship, have the power to deflect Mac gun rounds.
My love of Halo has been quelled. This is a gentleman who likes it more. So much that you actually made stuff out of Legos with Halo. Did you want to show us what you created, what you brought with you to the show today? Hopefully it's still together. So what is this here?
This is the MA5B assault rifle from Halo 1. I'm being told it's coming back in Halo 3. I've also made a shotgun, and in a couple of days I'm going to be working on a rocket launcher.
Thank you very much for sitting down and talking with us. I appreciate it.
Welcome.
We're just checking out ComiCon, getting a good sense of it. It's really cool. There's a lot of comic book fans and game fans, and
Kojima made like a 2-minute appearance yesterday. You know what he looked at? Any word?
Did you see him? Did you spot him?
I did not, but we heard after the fact.
Did you hear? I mean, you should see. There's some pictures on the web. I mean, he's ripped now. He's been working out, and he looks like he could beat any of these fans up. All the cosplay, like, man, you got Snake's patch on the wrong eye. Son of a bitch.
All right, but you guys are showing Lunar Nights. It's a little bit updated from what we've seen before, right?
We got Lunar Nights, and we've got the digital graphic novel, which is already released, of course. But I like to pimp that as much as possible. So Lunar Nights, we got updated build.
How far are we off from seeing that game in stores?
Well, we're right about on the brink of crunch time. So right when I go back to Japan, we're going to start.
Stop slacking on vacation.
No more slacking. No more going into work at 3 p.m. like some people I know at 1 Up. Okay.
We got the inspiration from PSP first. Okay, let's make the puzzle music game. And I told him, okay, let's make the puzzle music game first. And Hattori, okay, we will make some few experiments. And we had no office at the time.
喫茶店とかでね、よくまずは話をしていて、疲れの高いお金がないみたいな話で、一番安いのは昼間のカラオケボックスっていうので、なんかのカラオケボックス。
Now I called to Hattori one day, so where are you now? I'm in a karaoke box. What? You sing a song at the daytime? So no, we have meeting. What kind of meeting? So the luminous meeting. What?
We tried to come up with the structure which would fit with the hardware. For example, Luminous Live is the concept is like a TV broadcasting. You can broadcast new skins, and you change the skins all the time, and then theme skin may be coming and new artist skins are coming. Whereas Luminous 2 is like a party, right? I mean, he's a DJ or party organizer, and then you are the party participants, like a big show. Yeah. And whereas mobile phone is like a little bit like accessory, and then so it's a different kind of approach for the whole platform. So there is one puzzle game that we are reviving, which is Gunpei for Bandai. Gunpei is a kind of puzzle game.
Yeah.
We did the PSP and DS.
Oh.
But completely in a different approach.
Oh yeah.
Like a DS approach and PSP approach is completely different. Yeah.
So if you're a big Gunpei fan, you could actually, and you have a DS and PSP,
right.
you could buy both,
right.
and still have a different experience.
Right.
The Yokoi Gunpei, Mr. Yokoi, he was the key member of Nintendo.
Yeah, he created a Game Boy.
Yeah, Game Boy. And so he created Gunpei, the game, puzzle game. And so we revived Gunpei with the music.
Interesting, making a game named after yourself.
Right.
That's like
like a Tetsuya, huh?
Yeah, Tetsuya. Think about it. Tetsuya for the Wii.
Ah, 僕の友達のウェブデザイナーは仕事の締め切りなのに
全然連絡なくてふざけんなよって電話したらなんか今ちょっと面白いゲーム見つけて仕事やってなかったごめんとか言ってで怒ったんだけどちょっとやりたくなって送ってって言ったら僕もハマっちゃってで向こうも仕事やっぱやってるようになって面白いだろって言ってああだよなって言ってちょっとその時にちょうどうちの会社がミュージックインタラクティブっていう方針でいろんな例えばルミネスの元になったものとかメテオスの元になったのとか例えばその前には僕軍兵の今の企画とかも書いててちょっとその仕事をやっててああもうこれ遊んでたけどちょっとこれを元に企画を書いたら仕事やってたのと一緒だから企画書を書こうと。
Now, when you talk about technology and new ideas and new experiences, what do you think about like the Nintendo Wii? Does that look interesting? And the Nintendo DS is so popular in Japan. I know you guys are working on the new Medios for that. Let's say you designed Space Channel 5 today, and it didn't exist before.
Right.
You could use the remote control to Ooh La La.
Yeah,
that's
right.
Anything like that. You could actually use the controller like that, I'm curious what you guys could do with that as a from game design perspective.
What's weird thing?
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
That's right.
You're touching a really good point.
Even Rez. Okay, here comes the enemy, right? And you want to shoot them. So instead of aiming with the analyzer, you could
Is the mind killer.
Well, I mean, we can't disclose too much information, but you're right. He is mentioning a lot about Res. It's a critically really successful, but it didn't really work out commercially. We talk a lot about it, and was it a right product or wrong product? The conclusion is maybe the stage was wrong, and we need to have the right stage to show. So
I wish that you guys actually owned the rights to Res, because if you did Res now, oh man, that'd be so awesome.
Stay tuned.
We're here at Joyride Studios, the thing that we came for. Luke Smith's Master Chief Halo 2 ODST, Master Chief Spody toy. We're getting it. It's Cesar, let's go.
I hear the box go for box. We're not selling it. Oh, okay, alright. Here's the one I want up.